A really disturbed looking mother came to me the other day, dragging her son behind and cried, "Help! Save my son, please!" And I asked her, "What happened?" "My son," she said, "my son, he is bored." Oh my God, how terrible. What happened? How did he get bored? I asked her. "I don't know. He used to play with his friends. He used to help at home. But now he says he is bored. He sits at home all day in his vacation and whines and dines too all the time. Do you have a story to save him, PG?" she asked me. Of course. I have just the story for your bored son. I went out looking for my shawl. Every superhero goes into action with a costume. For PG the storyteller, it's the shawl. I put on my shawl, sat the boy down, and told him the story of the bored bird. Listen. A long time ago, on a tree in the jungle, lived a flock of parrots. Each parrot had a different name, but there was one who was called the bored bird, for obvious reasons. His mother would say, "Go chirp with your friends like parrots do," and he would say, "That's so boring." His mother would say, "Come fly with me." She said, "That's so boring too." She tried to teach him songs and sing like parrots do. "Birds in the air, that's so boring," he said. He even didn't have friends who would want to play with a parrot who was complaining all the time. One day, when his mother had left in search for food and his friends had gone out to chirp and play, bored bird sat on that lonely tree and looked down and saw a delicious looking fruit right below him on the ground. He went down and just started pecking on the fruit when suddenly a net fell on him. The poor bird was trapped. He was terrified. Oh, he cried out for help with all the energy that he could summon, but it all sounded like his usual complaining. No one seemed to pay attention. The hunter would be here anytime soon, and his life was destined to be lived within the confines of a cage. There was no use complaining anymore. And for the first time, he looked around him and thought, what all I could have done. He looked at the sky as if for the first time, the sky that always welcomed him. He looked at the trees that offered him fruits that he could peck. The distance he thought he heard his friends chirping and playing. He could have joined them. And suddenly, a beam of sunlight fell on him and he felt life is good. Life is exciting. There is so much to do. And a song came from his heart. He began singing for the first time. I wish I could fly high in the sky. I wish I could peck cherries from the trees. I wish I could live free. There's so much to do. Everyone heard his song. His song carried over the din of the jungle and reached the birds in the sky, the mice in the hole, and they all came rushing to him to help him. What a beautiful song, they said. And then they slowly lifted up the net and let him free. He was free now to go out and do whatever he wanted to do. End of story. I took off my shawl, looked the boy in the eye and told him, Don't wait for the holidays to end for you to realize what all you could have done. Go play with friends, climb a tree, read a book, go on your cycle somewhere, swim, attempt flying. The poor thing didn't say a word, but there was a glimmer of hope in his eyes that made me realize that another child had been saved. PG the storyteller could go back to biting his nails.